What's up everyone, this is K Collections and the true King of Knights will arrive soon. Sorry Artoria, but you can't beat the original idea. This will be a review on Proto Arthur, a charismatic king from a different universe cause Fate lore has to fit him into the story somehow. I'll go over stats, skills, CE recommendations, and some team strategies. Arthur will have the highest attack stat out of all Saber class servants. Usually that means his HP is the lowest. Nope, not this guy. He has the 5th highest HP, more than Okida, Musashi, and Altera, but lower than Narrow Brides. He has a double Arts and Buster type deck with a Buster NP. Hit counts are low, but that wouldn't be a problem for NP gains. With an Arts Quick Arts, you will be able to generate about 30% charge. Now if you deal crit damage with all 3 attacks, you can generate a bit over 50%. For Star Gens, he normally creates 15 to 20 stars or so if you Buster quick. Active skills are very simplistic, doesn't add too much in terms of uniqueness for this servant aside from his last skill. Mana Burst we've seen 1,000 times, use it with his NP attack. Second skill is meh, sure the stars help but this type of skill is usually upgraded, so let's hope he gets a strengthening quest. Final skill charges 20% NP gauge, less than Mordred and Artoria, which is a shame, but at least it deals extra damage to large enemies. Only problem is that there's not a lot. Hey, at least he's great for killing demon pillars, right? Rest in peace, Barbatos. Level his first, third, then second skill in that order. Passive skills are meh as well. Excalibur is simple but effective. You want to use his NP last within an NP chain to increase his overcharge, which increases his NP damage. I swear to God, if someone says I'm wrong, that's NP placement does not increase his damage, I'm gonna freaking smack you. There's always 2 or 3 of you who just don't pay attention. Rewind this video 5 seconds back and listen closely to what I said. I'm telling you, YouTube is stressful. Moving on, for C recommendations, you want to give him some form of starting NP while boosting his damage. Arthur loves Excalibur, so you want to dedicate his equipments accordingly. Sunrise or Partake, it's the same thing. Either one works, depends on what you prioritize more. I do recommend Golden Sumo since it's a boost for all his attacks, but Halloween Princess works fine as well. You can use the Demonic CE to boost his overcharge, which is great for farming, and Holy Night Supper is good if you have a strong star generator on your team. For team strategies, you want to charge Arthur's NP gauge as fast as possible while buffing his damage output. With this setup, you can charge 90% right away, giving a lot of CE flexibility. Because it's more arts focused, you can spam his NP attack. The main weakness is that there's no long-term survivability and only Shakespeare can survive NP attacks. It's common knowledge that Waver can charge a servant's NP to 50%, 70% if you include Arthur's skill. Obviously, Waver can increase attack and defense. 2 combos you can do is first use Arthur's intuition to create stars, then buff his crit damage with Waver. The 2 casters have low star gather rates, meaning Arthur will absorb most of them, then crit away. Second combo is to use Waver's NP first, obviously to reduce defense, then chain Arthur's. His NP strength will increase even more and the enemy's defense is lowered, resulting in massive amounts of damage. Shakespeare can charge 20% NP gauge and increase Buster performance. Both abilities are meant to help Arthur. The increase in star generation will also help, but don't expect to generate a lot since your servants aren't exactly known to be star generators. His NP should be used second after Wavers for the increase in damage thanks to the defense debuff and can potentially stun the enemies if Waver's stun effect fails. Now this is a top tier team. I'm just joking, but this team is great if you hate dragons yet also love them since the Sabers are dragons themselves. Essentially they're killing their own kind. It's also good against Lancers, but godly against Lancer dragons. Again, survivability is the main weakness and it's not free to play friendly. Jalter is known as the Dragon Witch for a reason. She can increase the attack of both Sabers twice thanks to their dragon traits. All servants have the same command cards, which gives a lot of consistency. Arthur can create stars for the turn with his skill, then you can use Jalter's skill to absorb those stars and deal crit damage. Jalter is also your single target damage dealer since the Sabers has AoE. Siegfried is yet another independent Saber who doesn't exactly add any support for your team. Instead, he serves as an additional damage dealer, receiving an extra attack buff from Jalter as well. You can have both Sabers combine their noble phantasms to kill a dragon easily, since both servants have increased damage against them. Siegfried is also a backup in case you're a horrible master, letting your king die. My final thoughts on Arthur: he's a very simple servant, which is a shock since we are approaching 2 years into this game. His skill sets resemble the basic abilities when the game first launched. That being said, he can deal significant damage with Excalibur thanks to his Buster and NP buffs, not even including his buff against large enemies. NP gains are solid, but if he doesn't Brave Chain often, then his gains can be slow at times. Star Gen is pretty standard as well. Arthur is an AoE burst damage dealer, great for farming and great against large enemies which you'll face during the story chapters. Now, there's a lot of problems with him. His skills are really lackluster compared to other AoE sabers. Mordred can increase her own defense and remove her own debuffs. Altera can absorb stars and buff your team's NP damage. Even Artoria at least have a charisma skill. The sabers I mentioned also have their NP damage upgraded, while Arthur doesn't have any. He lacks any survivability. His extra damage to large enemies is very situational. Being a burst damage dealer means he isn't effective during cooldown periods. And finally, he's a boring servant to use. That one is more of a personal opinion. It's an obvious no for me. Now, he isn't a horrible servant, just underwhelming. Other AoE sabers like the ones I mentioned are better choices, but I will say if you are brand new to FGO or in need of a saber for farming, then summon him. Although I would wait for other servants raid up to go along with him during the Chaldea Boys Banner like Waver or Coup. Special thanks to all my patrons for supporting me. If you want to support my channel, check out my Patreon. Who do you like more, Artoria or Proto Arthur? I have to admit, Arthur is one of my most favorite servants. Really like his design. His Excalibur looks better than Artoria's. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a lot of hate on that one. But comment down below to let me know which one you like more. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more FGO content. Follow my Twitter, Instagram, and join my Discord server. All links are in the description. Have an awesome day. Good luck on your summons, and I will be summoning for this servant. Like I said, he's my favorite. I have to get him. So look forward to that. Have a nice day, everyone.